Yeah, I'm at Zagged. I'll be home soon. No, he's not weird per se.
Clara.
Can I call you back?
Clara. Where's the hybrid Clara? Clara, where's the hybrid Clara? It's in here, somewhere. I just know it. Clara, where is it? It's here, somewhere. Clara, do you know where the hybrid is, Clara?
What's the hybrid? And I'm not Clara!
Just a quick disclaimer. Setting up this camera and this lighting was so fucking painful. Welcome to the Review in Space. This camera is prone to fall at any moment, so beware, gentlemen and ladies and multi-forms. So, welcome to the Review in Space. We're doing a single episode review for the first time in a while.
I'm still here. I haven't left.
Really? Oh wow! Who's that voice? I can't see anyone.
I'm the little devil on your shoulder. I'm the master.
And you
You
will
will
obey
obey
me.
I can see only bad things happening.
I know, my camera is going to fall off. Welcome to the review of, it's kind of a retro review because we're looking back on it. World Enough and Time and Dr. Fools. We have loads of posters on them, just behind me, like this Nardole one that's behind Dylan right now.
Nardole!
A multi-Nardole story. But yeah, I watched on a whim this story when I was, obviously, since I'm back home for a little bit to record these videos. I rewatched World Enough and Time Dr. Fool because I was feeling like it. Weirdly, I was feeling like it, considering I did make a video reviewing this episode a lifetime ago, it feels like. But that video has since been stricken by the copyright laws of Doctor Who music.
YouTube demonetizing is a bitch.
Yep, which is where all of my old channel videos have gone, just as a disclaimer. Anyway, we're here to review it because my opinion has kind of changed after that, because
I got in his head.
I had some strong hatred towards this story, and I'll admit I still hate it, the Flying Cybermen. Fucking hate it. I hate the Flying Cybermen. I still do to this day. I hate it. But apart from that, is that my drink? No, it's yours. We're going to review it because you were very fond of it from the start and I wasn't. So I'll still address some of the issues that I still feel are very important, but I'll state my updated opinion. So let's just begin, shall we?
Start off with, what would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10. So back then I gave it, I believe, a 5 or a 6 out of 10. So very weak. I feel like I enjoy the Dr. Fools a lot more than I did. I feel like World Enough and Time was the clear favourite back then, just because of how horror and sinister and shit it was. Loved it. I loved World Enough and Time from the start, really. I think it was just Dr. Fools that ruined it for me. Being that this Flying Cybermen, the underuse of John Sim and Missy in part 2. But really, I feel like, with those issues aside, they're still issues to me, mostly. I feel like they used John Sim enough so they don't use him too much and ruin him. Because I feel like the thing that they could have definitely gone worse for World Enough and Time Dr. Fools is they could have ruined John Sim's master, but they didn't. With the exception of them getting rid of the drumming in his head, they should have kept that for his master, I do feel.
He's less insane and more calculated.
Yes, which is a shame. But at the same time, it gives us a new side for John Sim's master, which I'm all for. I love John Sim in every master performance, and this is no exception. I love the goatee, but you're asking me about the ratings, and I went off a tangent. Sorry about that. I'd give it, I think, an 8 out of 10 now, as a collective two-parter. I do feel like World Enough and Time deserves a 9 on its own, though. I do feel like World Enough and Time was just done beautifully.
I completely agree.
Yeah. I was saying this to you when I saw you the other day. I love Missy in this story. because for the most part, I was not a big fan of Missy while her tenure was on screen and we were watching her character in Series 10 and in Series 9. And her role in Series 8 was very good, though, I will admit. So I feel like Missy is very, like, misjudged, at least for me. I feel like now, I think Missy's best episode is Dr. Falls, World Enough and Time Dr. Falls area. I love that she's not a complete villain. She is very undecided, much like the Roger Delgado part of Doctor Who. I love her dynamic with Sim. I think it's very, very funny and very, very
Flirtatious.
very flirtatious. I feel like sorry, that was my PC shouting at us to unplug a SD drive. Apparently, we're recording these episodes in bulk. But yeah, yeah. I actually really enjoyed World Enough and Time Dr. Falls. I enjoyed World Enough and Time to start with. I love Capaldi's performance. Capaldi is the best actor to play the Doctor. Not my favourite Doctor, but he is the best actor, personally, to ever come into the
He's
role.
actually my new favourite Doctor.
Is he?
If you saw on my top 10 favourite Doctors.
Yeah.
he's one of them.
Link at comics_who_
Reviews. Yeah.
reviews. He does top 10s and Doctor Who reviews.
I get in trouble for those.
You what?
I'm very what's the word?
Controversial?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are very controversial. But at the same time, if you're after some Doctor Who reviews that aren't video, then go check them out. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Capaldi's performance in Dr. Falls was brilliant, especially when he's standing up to Missy and Sim, where he's like, I don't think I'll win, I don't think I'll save anyone, but it's worth trying anyway, because it's right and it's kind. And that's what his Doctor's been about. It's just being kind.
Kind.
I just love that encompasses his era, doesn't it? That speech about him just wanting to be kind.
It's basically his character arc from Series 8 to Series 10.
Because
where
he's very, very reckless and very calculated and about, collateral damage and all that. And
becoming more human when he started off more alien and cold towards others.
Cold and calculated, and now he's much more warm and very kind as he's become. I love that character arc in 12. I feel 12 is one of the best defined Doctors. Despite all of the terrible script that he's been given, he's managed to turn them around.
Great actor.
With instance, the Zygon speech, which actually one of my proudest moments to be a Whovian was when I saw that scene clipped and put on Twitter. When the ISIS stuff was going around, that clip of the Doctor and his anti-war speech. I'm really proud of the Doctor community when that was happening. Just as the anti-war speech just being spread around like wildfire. I love it. Really, really proud of that. Anyway, we're getting off on a big tangent there. Capaldi is just brilliant. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I almost completely forgot that Bill existed in Doctor Who until I was like, oh yeah, she's the companion in Series 10.
Oh yeah, she's that old chestnut. I didn't mind her in this. I liked her in part 1.
I don't mind Bill in general. She's alright.
I quite like Bill, to be honest.
Yeah.
I liked what they did with her in part 1, part 2, because we know I had a companion being upgraded to a Cyberman fully.
That moment where she gets shot, you see the hole in her chest, and it's juxtaposed with a flashback of her saying, "Promise you won't get me killed," and then she cuts to her a hole in her chest. That was brilliantly done, so horror-esque, and the bits in the hospital where it's like pain, and then it turns out that the nurse just turned down the volume and didn't actually help the patient at all.
I love the horror aspect of all that.
Oh yeah, so sinister and
bleak,
Frankenstein-esque and
brilliant.
everything. It is brilliantly done.
And the actual
Superb.
proto-Cybermen were in the hospital outfits, not the Cybermen outfits.
Yeah,
those are actually
really great reveal.
Scary, yeah.
That's why I feel like World Enough and Time would have been so much more groundbreaking upon release if the reintroduction of John Sim and the Cybermen was not spilt all over social media. But the thing is, it was BBC who announced that all Mondasian Cybermen are coming back and John Sim is coming back. It just feels like, why would you do that to yourself? It would have been such a better reveal for the whole, do you like disguises? And you see John Sim. Would have been such a better moment if you didn't reveal it. If you didn't spill the beans and you just had it as a surprise, it would have been so good. Don't you think?
That's why I'm glad they're keeping secrets.
Series 12.
Seasons.
Okay, I will admit that one good thing about Chibnall's era is most of the spoilers have been kept in the wraps, especially for Series 12. It's only now,
Because like,
like
we get
2
the
weeks.
June reveal, and then like
Only,
6 months
only,
later.
only within 2 weeks. Like I'd say, only within a month span before the release of Series 12. Only now are we getting information like Jadoon, Cybermen, and Stephen Fry in the Spyfall episode. You're only starting
They've
to be
also announced
little
some more
bits.
stuff.
Right. What was it?
Historical characters.
Right. Okay.
Ben Franklin
Oh. Okay.
and Nikola Tesla.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting selection there. Anyway, off on another tangent there. Sorry, guys. But no. Yeah. I even though I love the reveal that Bill is a Cyberman, I saw it coming a mile away.
Oh yeah.
One thing I don't like how overplayed is it's not just a Cyberman, it's a Mondasian Cyberman. You didn't call them Mondasian Cybermen in the 10th Planet, they were just Cybermen. Just call them Cybermen. Like there's nothing special about them.
Cybermen.
Yeah.
I like that
Just
name.
maybe Proto Cybermen. It just feels like
Cybermen
all
not fun.
Cybermen up to the Lumic ones have been Mondasian Cybermen. Why call them Mondasian Cybermen if they're all just Cybermen? Like it just feels a
Because they're
bit.
Cybermen from Mondas.
I know, but they were all Cybermen from Mondas up to well, I suppose not at Talos.
You
in
got
some-
Talos, you got Necros.
No, Necros was Daleks. Necros was Daleks in the 80s.
6th Doctor Cyberman story, I mean.
But anyway, yeah, I just feel that way too overplayed in the whole. Oh, it's not just Cyberman; it's a Mondasian Cyberman, just to wow the new series viewers. I don't know. There was a different type of Cyberman. They're the same type. They're just
Different
they're just a
design.
very very primitive version.
They should have done.
But I love that they didn't tread over the Big Finish audio spare parts. They let
They
it be
did
its
their
own
own thing,
animal.
which I like.
They left it alone and had the Fifth Doctor story stay as it is, as if it was canon. Because I love that. I love when they don't tread. They tread softly when it comes to Big Finish stuff as much as they can. I don't blame them if they sometimes clash with facts based on continuity.
Yeah.
Because there's Big Finish is a wide variety, probably just as many Big Finish audios as there are Doctor Who episodes. Yeah, more probably, way more if you count the
Because
spin-offs
the monthly
of like
range
War Master
already,
and
the monthly
Onion
range
Masters.
already has nearly over 250.
Yeah, and meanwhile Doctor Who is only at like 300, 400 stories collectively in its
Then
50,
you've got the 8th Doctor
50,
series,
60
4th
era.
Doctor,
yeah.
1st Doctor,
Yeah,
Lost
I think,
Stories.
yeah. So I don't blame the BBC for sometimes messing things up and messing up the continuity when it comes to but the 6th Doctor was in this time period at this time. How come the 12th Doctor? I'm just using that as an example. I'm not actually using anything specific, but I can understand when they do make mistakes because there's a lot of stuff to keep track of Big Finish, which I don't blame them for. But I am glad that they do kind of say, okay, so spare parts is a really popular story. Let's not tread over their feet. Let's kind of make our own Genesis of the Cybermen origins on a little spaceship
let
towards a
them
black
do their
hole.
thing, yeah.
It still happened, but we're doing this own thing with the 12th Doctor. Love it. I love that they did that. So it's on a spaceship rather than on Mondas itself. And the whole and yet you still imagine that the stuff in the hospital with Bill and the pain and all that, you can imagine that the exact same thing that's happening there is happening parallel on Mondas, like with the same sort of themes of, people being experimented on into robots and stuff. You can still imagine that sort of stuff is happening on Mondas, so it is kind of
I have a quick complaint.
yes.
So you got Mondasian Cybermen,
Yes.
you got Cyber Cybermen,
Yeah.
and you have
The Nightmare
new
Cybermen.
Yeah.
The Nightmare Cybermen. The
Why
Iron
couldn't
Man
we
Cybermen.
have brought back the others?
Yeah, the 80s one.
Talos, the
Yeah.
Invasion, Revenge, Silver Nemesis, any of those.
Yeah. I would have loved to at least seen the Tomb Cybermen.
Oh.
Because they are a pretty easy costume to
Yeah.
replicate. It's just tinfoil with like a box over their chest, right? It just seems simple enough. More simple than the Mondasian Cybermen design. That's why they simplified it from 10th Planet to Moonbase. Because they thought, the design is way too complex, it keeps breaking on set, let's change it to a simpler design, hence Moonbase and the new Tomb Cybermen design.
I like the new design.
The what, sorry?
The new
in the
Cybermen.
in the Series 12, yeah. We'll talk about that another day, when Series 12 comes out. But anyway, I wish we could have seen like the Invasion Cybermen, or maybe I would have loved to seen the Tomb Cybermen, like I say, or maybe the Earthshock Cybermen, or like some form of Cybermen, or like the Silver Nemesis Cybermen, because they're pretty much the same as Earthshock, similar enough.
I kind of missed the Cyber Leader with the black handles. Haven't seen that in a
We
while.
haven't seen that. Haven't seen a black-handled Cyber Leader yet. In a while. Hopefully, we see that in the upcoming series. Hopefully, If not, it's chill. But
Yeah, I mean-
it would be good to see it at some point. But yeah, all the same, I wish we saw more than just Mondasian straight to Nuhu with Lumic ones and then Nightmare Cybermen. Just seems very cop out, isn't it? They're just throwing all the Cybermen costumes that they have in their cupboard anyway. It's, we have Lumic ones when we have Nightmare ones. Let's throw them in for variety. Why not have a bit of Silver Nemesis? Maybe just one or two. You don't have to have that many.
Yeah, I mean,
just like in
Asylum of the Daleks.
Asylum of the Daleks. They should have had more Necros Daleks or more Genesis Daleks or more Dalek Invasion Earth Daleks or like I just feel like there should have been more variety in there. Just like this one, it just feels very lazy for them to just throw like one variant of the classic ones and then all of the Nuhu variants. It just feels very cheap of them to do so because they're just recycling old costumes that they had from Rise of the Cybermen and stuff like that. But that's my only real complaint. Like in terms of production value. Production value, that's my only complaint. Other than that, they were pretty well done in terms of the story visually and
story complaint
design.
I have.
Okay.
The ending, where they haven't defeated the Cybermen.
Yes, and as well as the Cybermen weren't defeated, and it's kind of ambiguous as to what happens to Nardole.
I would have liked a proper ending.
For Nardole, yes. Yeah, and for the
Nardole.
Cybermen as well. That they should have. That's what I thought they were going to do in Twice Upon a Time, but Twice Upon a Time is not part of this review, so we will not be discussing that abysmal episode. As well as that, I do not like the ending for Bill. They should have just killed her and had her just not turn into a water god or like a.
I guess they tried to give her a happy ending.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, but it's like just commit to killing off a companion. Just why can't you just do that? Just kill off a companion. Don't half kill her off and then say, "Oh no, but she's alive. She's just a sentient being now." Like it just feels very, very
Stupid.
safe. It feels way too safe. They should really go out of their comfort
Cheap
zone
plot device.
and kill off,
Oh, she's
Kill
dead,
off a
but
companion.
she's not dead.
just like Clara.
Final complaint, and you will agree: the underuse of the Master. In the
I already
second
said it.
part.
Yeah. I feel like at the start, the whole stuff about how many times have you died, Doctor? Have you
many
burned? Have you? I know you fell, and then have you drowned? So dark and cool, but none of
I
that
love
really
that
happens.
bit.
Nothing comes of that, which is a
I
shame.
love that whole hospital sequence with them. That's
That
why
was
I'm so
great.
excited for the Master thing that's coming out on Big Finish.
Yeah,
January
I'm actually really
2021.
excited for that too, and I don't really listen to Big Finish that much anymore. I know. We're getting retreated now.
I'm the master and you will obey.
I am the Master, and you will obey me.
But yeah. So yeah,
John Sim.
yeah, John Sim. I love him in the goatee. I already said all this about John Sim. John Sim is brilliant. Like I said, the only thing I feel like they could have done better is either at the start of this episode, explain physically or how they got rid of the drumming in his head with like a flashback, rather than
It's in
just
a
a
book.
one-liner. Huh?
It's in a book.
I know it's in a book, but it doesn't feel earned.
My favourite book.
If you don't read the book, then it doesn't fit.
I mean,
Hence
they
why
get-
I feel like
yeah.
it's cheap of them to just go,
Proper
oh, they got
explanation.
rid of his drum. They got rid of the drumming
Give
in
a
his head
proper
off
explanation
screen.
would be nice.
Because it was such an integral part of his character. It felt like a character in of itself in some ways because of how insane it made his master. Just so insane. He's like, drumming, I can't get rid of the drumming. Wow, drums. You know? Just- Yeah. And that's my only complaint with John Sim. Apart from the fact he was slightly underused. But I do feel like the bits that he was in, he stole the show.
Oh yeah, every scene he was actually.
And Missy was in most of the scenes that he was in, and yet he was like, I have a goatee and I'm John Sim. Yeah, bitch.
Any
John
spare
Sim was just so
bras?
good. Huh?
Any spare bras?
Oh yeah, I know. That was great. And the whole dematerialization circuit. I like how they brought back the exact same design except
I
made it
did like that,
smaller.
yeah.
Very, very nice touch how they didn't completely revamp the design. They just went for the one. They just smalled. You know, they shrunk down the design from the
But it
70s.
still looks.
Still looks the part, doesn't it? I'm glad they kept to the very fan service. Can't speak today. But no, yeah, I even though it's fan servicey, I still feel like it's kind of they gotta do it. Like, come on, it wouldn't make it so complete if they didn't have all these different continuity references in there about John Sim before and the dematerialization circuit and the Cybermen. Because there are so many callbacks to older episodes with the Cybermen and the John
Oh
Sim
my
and
gosh, I love that callback. The whole sequence where he's in like the forest and like, I defeated you so
Yeah.
many times.
Canary Wharf, Telos,
Planet 14.
Volga. Yeah, every single time you lose, even on the moon. I love it. I love it. So
Do you know
good.
what Planet 14 was?
Tell me.
Marinus.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Planet
Wasn't
with
it?
the Lord.
Yeah, really good. But no, yeah, I love it. I love all those. It's just so good, and they don't. I love it. I love Stephen Moffat's era for how he didn't shy away from all these obscure references to classic Who. It just feels very. It rewards you for being so
Fans, though,
committed.
Yeah.
It rewards you for being so committed to the show throughout its 50 years, not just for watching it from the Ninth Doctor onwards, or just watching Tennant because Tennant's attractive.
Meh.
But no, yeah.
Meh.
It just feels very annoying when people just do that. It's like, oh, I only like Matt Smith and David
I
Tennant.
like David Tennant's shoes. Oh, I liked his hair. Yeah.
No,
I like Matt Smith's no eyebrows. Yeah.
I liked his bald head. It was very obviously a wig, so they just they throw it in the
I
script.
liked how he did that thing.
Yeah.
Eh.
Oh my god, what is this review turning into?
Welcome back to the review.
In
where we
space.
review how sexy each doctor is.
Okay. So, now that those aids are out of the way, yeah,
Moving on.
so Doctor Falls. I think overall I'm giving it a 8. I think I already said that.
8.5.
I'm giving it an 8. So the only thing I feel like they should have done is not dragged on Capaldi's era through Twice Upon a Time. It just feels like beating a dead horse.
He was originally gonna regenerate that episode.
I know. It's just a shame because they should have just been okay. Let's. I mean, at the same time, I do like the First Doctor stuff in there. The only stuff I don't like is that they made First Doctor a sexist and racist, which is nothing like the First Doctor actually was.
good
Smack bottom. No, but we're not talking about Twice Upon a Time. We're talking about World Enough in Time, Doctor Falls.
So what I love about Twice Upon a Time is
Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
But no, I'm not sure what else we have to say here, but
it was good.
I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it the second time. I was pleasantly surprised while watching it because sometimes you're in the mood for watching a specific episode or like a specific Doctor Who era, and I'm thinking I want to watch a regeneration story and I want to watch the 12th Doctor and I don't want to watch Twice Upon a Time, Doctor Falls. So I picked it out and I watched it.
I'm always in the mood for a master story.
I was pleasantly surprised, especially with John Simmons. Oh, I forgot how much this episode had to offer. Cybermen. We have a companion departure, not almost Doctor departure.
Remember when
Cybermen, 2 Masters. No. And then you have all the horror sequences of people getting
The
experimented
hospital,
on in the hospital.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I forget how much it had to offer. Although it had its flaws of like continuity and not following through of killing off Bill, I do have those issues still, but I feel like it's a very enjoyable episode,
They
even
should
with
have
those
killed off the
flaws.
master.
No, they should have left John. But even still, you could still have John Sim back. They could have picked him out of his timeline between now and.
Shouldn't have killed Missy.
No, they shouldn't have killed Missy. Missy would have been great to pair off against Jodie Whittaker, wouldn't she? That's my one complaint. Actually, they could still do that. They could still pick Missy out of her timeline from a different bit of continuity to like pick her out between.
I just want to save her.
They could have picked her out of Death in Heaven between then and Death in Heaven and Mission Justice and Apprentice. That's an episode name. But no, yeah. But they could still do that. I'm hoping they still do that because Missy is I think Missy would work so well against Jodie Whittaker.
Missy against all the doctors. That'd be fun.
But no, I think Missy would work well against Jodie. I feel like they'd match better as rivals actually than Missy and Capaldi.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like Capaldi and Missy did clash a bit too much. They didn't seem like, at least to me, like lifetime friends by the way they acted together and by the way they.
Put Missy,
their
Jodie,
performance
and
was.
River in an episode.
That would be good. I feel like they've kind of they're over the bridge and far away from River stuff now. I feel like River's like dead and gone now forever. I don't think they'll want to dig up that storyline anymore. At least I feel like it'd be better if we left the River stuff alone now. Especially since her character is a property of Moffat's era, really. Let's be fair.
Moffat just needs to know how to share.
Yeah. But no,
Well, then again, so is Captain Jack.
No, Captain Jack. Yeah, that's a good shout. But yeah, I hope we get Captain Jack back in the future. John Barrowman said in an interview that he'd love to work with Jodie Whittaker on an episode, so maybe, hopefully.
Let's bring back Eric Roberts.
Yeah. No. Anyway, I think that'll probably do it. We've said all we wanted to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what are you giving it out of 10?
8.5.
8.5, bro. I think you already said that, but yeah. That was pretty much it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll see you in the next one.
And don't forget to follow my channel.
You've plugged it like 5 or 6 times now.
I have to plug it as many times as I have.
Go follow it so he shuts up about it.
Also,
Come on, guys.
don't forget to subscribe to Big Finish Audios and pre-order your Masterful box set coming out January 2021. That's also my plug. I've been hired to plug that.
Yeah, Big Finish have hired you.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Bye,
plugging
guys.
Big Finish. Do that. It's
Yeah.
got 8 masters in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Can you shut the fuck up now? I'm
Yeah.
trying to end this video.
Are you in it?
No.
He's not in it.
No, I'm not.
But you can still buy it.
You can still buy it. Bye,
You're
guys.
now.
Shut the fuck up. Let me end.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Have fun.
Bye. Go away
It's
before he
good
keeps
seeing
talking.
you. It's good seeing
Bye.
you. It's
Bye.
got Garrett Jacobi.
Yeah.
It's
Bye.
got Johnson.
Shut up. Bye.
Michelle
Bye.
Rodriguez.
Shut
got
up.
Alex McQueen.
Shush. 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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
It's got Jeffrey D.
Shut the fuck up. No, you're not.
That's what I'm on.
No. Shut the fuck up. Let the video end, please. Yes. It just cuts to black.